There are several natural and human-induced disturbances that cause changes in wildlife species abundance, such as property management practices, including the use of fire and logging. In previous studies, these practices have shown to cause changes in the forest structure, resulting in changes of species abundance. Understanding the influences of these practices within a property is essential to improve both wildlife and property management practices. The aim of this study was to determine the impact the use of fire and logging has on the relative abundance of the common brush-tailed possum. Statistical analysis will be used to determine the significance of the results. There were 6 study sites located near Helidon Hills in southeast Queensland in which trapping occurred. Each site differed in regards to logging intensity and fire frequency. As shown in the table, the fire frequency for each site was recorded as either frequent or low, while logging intensity was written as either logged or unlogged. The study was conducted over 3 consecutive days in which 8 cage traps were placed within each site. Each trap was set around 200 meters apart. The image shown is an example of where the cage traps, indicated by the blue dots, were set within one of the properties. For each individual property, the number of possums caught during the study was recorded and placed into a table. This count data was then transformed into continuous data, in which was used to create an ANOVA table using Minitab. The following table shows the number of common brush-tailed possum events for each site recorded over the study period. It also shows the data related to logging intensity and fire frequency in order to clearly show any visual trends. The table and accompanying graph clearly show a trend in which a higher number of possum events were recorded in sites that were unlogged. The results also show that within the unlogged areas, fire frequency also had an impact on the number of events recorded, in which frequent fires resulted in a lower number of events. As clearly shown in the previous table, there was a major difference between the number of possum events recorded within each site, with more possums showing up in areas that were unlogged and had low fire frequency. Once the data was statistically analysed, it showed that there was a significant difference between the number of events regarding both fire frequency and logging intensity, showing p-values of 0.001 and 0.002 respectively. Overall, both logging and frequent fires had an impact on the relative abundance of the common brush-tailed possum within the study sites. The common brush-tailed possum is a nocturnal species that relies heavily on tree hollows and hollow logs as a source of shelter during the day. Logging therefore reduces the number of possible sources of shelter for this animal, in which may contribute to its low relative abundance in logged areas. Fires also contribute to the reduced relative abundance as they would remove most ground-based sources of shelter, further reducing habitat suitability. In conclusion, it is important to understand how certain species populations are influenced by any kind of property management practices in order to effectively improve wildlife management.